the show where we believe you can grow and be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health. That's right. Being a millionaire is not just about having a large bank account, although that is part of it. But every week we share tips on how to improve your spiritual, physical, mental, social, intellectual, and of course, your financial health. Today, we are focusing on your social health with the topic of being a good friend. Man, this could be a very, very subjective definition, but we've got 3 awesome guests that are going to come out and help share tips on how to be a good friend. And real quick, I'm going to say that an emoji is not a response in a conversation. All right, got that out of the way. If you've never seen Millionaires Are Made, we are the show built on the fundamental beliefs that every person you meet has something to teach you, and there's something to be learned from everyone in this big, beautiful world. At Millionaires Are Made, we are on a mission to teach the world for free how to grow into the healthiest version of yourself that you can be. And in the spirit of authenticity, we do not talk about tips or advice backstage. So you will hear them at the same time I will hear them, and our guests tell them from their own life journeys. Audience, if you are watching the show, this is a very interactive show. Please drop your comments, ask your questions. We will answer them live. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just put them in the comments, DM us, whatever it is. We'll ask them live to our guests. If you want to be on our show, we welcome just about anyone and everyone. If you want to be a guest and share some of your knowledge, we would love that. We're dropping a link in the chat right now. Sign up there and we'll get you on our show. If you have a topic you're interested in, maybe you're a little lost right now, or maybe financially not so hot, or maybe something crazy just happened in your life and you're not sure how to move through it, shoot us a DM, comment on us however you want, and let us know. And we will go create an entire episode based on your topic with 3 expert guests that we find to give you some advice. Super cool. Huge news. We now have merchandise available. If you want a Millionaires Are Made shirt or calendar or mug or whatever else we got, check out the link we're dropping right now. We'd love to see some Millionaires Are Made merch on you. It's super cool. We spent a lot of time to get it going, and it's great. And if you also want to learn a little bit more about me and my guests and all the stuff that we do, I'd love to have one-on-one sessions. I'd love to talk to you. We're dropping a link right now. It is free, so feel free to sign up and come hang out and chat with me. And without further ado, we're going to go over some sponsors here. Our first sponsor is Jesse Lewis, who is a comedian, kind of hypnotist that does lots of live shows. He's super fun, pretends he's funny, and does a lot of interactive hypnotist shows across Canada and the world. So feel free to book him for your next event. Our next sponsor is Sarah Jones, who had a really, really tough life. A couple, not that long ago either. Her and her husband were not doing well, financially stressed, buried in debt, and knew there was a better way. So she finally buckled down and studied how to get financially free. And now her and her husband live together in an RV, travel the US, and teach people how to have financial foundations that succeed. Go check her link out right now. Our next sponsor is Craig Sutkowski. Craig is amazing, super smart, a human behaviorist and mentor, and he specializes in helping entrepreneurs discover your true identity, purpose, and achieve growth in both your business and life, which is a very unique task. And our last sponsor is Samir Dasani, who actually is a certified health and nutrition coach and specializes in preventing and reversing chronic and autoimmune diseases. Yes, lots of diseases that you would think are a lifetime. He has done a lot of work on to make them help decline. There it is. He had a really bad health for a while, and he discovered the healing power of traditional eating practices, which transformed his and his family's life. And now he helps all sorts of clients reverse autoimmune and conditions naturally without medications. Currently now studying to get another degree in a PhD in anthropology. Go check out Samir. He is super awesome and super, super smart. I'm going to give a quick shout out to some of our followers as well. If you do not follow us on socials, you will never get shouted out. So go do that right now. Like us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, all that fun stuff. On Facebook, Jacqueline Grant, thank you so much for following us. You're amazing. Instagram, Anna Hanel, you are awesome. TikTok, Alejandro Rhodes. And on YouTube, Spooky. You guys are great. Thank you for following us. And I guess that leaves us, without further ado, to bring out our first guest, Lori. Lori, I have a question for you.
Hey,
Who
good
are
morning.
you?
Who am I? Well, I guess you can say I'm a serial entrepreneur. But I think first and foremost, I'm a mom. I got three amazing kids. Two of them are also entrepreneurs. The one's still in high school.
Okay.
I have one beautiful granddaughter, another one on the way, and I probably am going to become a cat because I'm being told that the average of the five people you hang out with the most is what you become. So, crazy cat lady in the making, and just constantly looking for whatever next opportunity, whatever that looks like, whether it's business opportunities, friendship opportunities, constantly networking. So, yeah, nothing super special about me. Just excited to be here and thank you again for the invitation.
I mean, you sound pretty special. That was a long list of things that you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, Lori, I've got a big question for you, though. If I wanted to improve my social health by being a good friend, what
Mhm.
tiny tip would you give me?
I kind of already said it. Like, look at who you're surrounded with and really making sure that the people that you are bringing into your life align with your values, right? Like, do they shape your
Yeah,
mindset?
that's huge.
How do they impact your energy, your success, right? I think we all grow from like quality over quantity,
Yeah.
and just really focusing on like who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah. Aligning your values is huge. So many times people are like, oh, I had this friend and they screwed me over, or they did this and that. And I'm like, well, why were they ever your friend, you know?
Yeah. I think it comes down to as well too is that you don't realize how much values really can impact a relationship. It could be just something as different of like what your moral values are, right, and what you align
Right.
with and what you resonate with on a daily basis. That could just really create, I guess, turmoil in a relationship, right? If they're not aligned. So yeah, I am really all about that. Who you hanging out with, surrounding yourself with positive people, and not just accepting everyone that walks in. Build those boundaries and stand up for yourself and be authentic, right?
Love it. Very good tips. Very good tips. Lori, where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
Oh, trial and error, of course, right? I mean, like I think I, I can't say that I learned it from my parents, so to speak, although they really did teach me how to be such an open and accepting and loving person. But I am that stubborn kid that, until you're blue in the face, I got to learn on my own. So I would say, like, all of the walk of life of mistakes that I've made, like not being authentic and not realizing it until after the fact, right? Not really understanding. It's easy to make friends, it's not easy to keep friends. And I think
Ooh,
that all comes back on you, right? And how I think it comes down to this, it's how do you make people feel at the end of the day, because nothing
yeah,
else matters. And it's up to you to reevaluate yourself in the relationship. Is it a me thing or is it a you thing? And just,
very true.
yeah. And as far as like the learning process goes, I think that I love to learn. And I think that like as we evolve and time goes on, I really have opened myself up to reading books. I mean, Dale Carnegie
Nice.
has like great, like listening to podcasts, like listening to you, listening to the things that are available to me, because as we as we evolve, we're learning that our best friends aren't in the past, they're actually in our future.
Ooh, that's a good quote. Flip it.
So yeah, I think it's just all about like everything's about the continued growth and evolving, constant learning. And like I said, trial and error.
I love it. Awesome, Lori. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our next guest, Jesse. Who are you?
I'm Jesse Lewis. I'm a comedy hypnotist in Canada. You pretty much covered what I do. Let's talk friendship, Austin. Let's talk friendship.
Jesse, if I wanted to improve my social health by being a good friend, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
There's two things that I look for in a friend. One is loyalty, and the other one is not gossiping.
Ooh, okay. Good.
Gossip is a destroyer of friendships. Um, I guess the other thing is also be supportive. For instance, if somebody wants to do something, try something new, give them hope versus telling them that it's a bad idea. Unless it's a really shitty idea, then don't give them hope. But friendship is all about the loyalty. That's the whole point of friendship, is to have loyalty and somebody to talk to no matter what. So yeah, that's my tip. Be loyal and don't gossip. That's it.
Be loyal, don't gossip. All right.
Yeah.
So don't gossip about anyone at all, or just don't gossip about your friends?
Yes, don't gossip about anybody. The truth
Oh
is that other
man,
people's
taking away
business,
all the fun.
Austin, other people's business is none of your business or none of my business. Why are we talking about people? Like it's especially behind their back. If you've got a problem with somebody, talk to them about it. Otherwise, that problem just gets worse because
I
eventually the
keep
gossip just
tweeting
gets
at
back.
Trump and he won't respond to me. I can't talk to him.
Well, that is a fair statement. However, I'm not going to go there because I'm Canadian and right now there's an issue. We're not going to talk about that.
All right. Let's go on to the next question. Where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
Well, about 5 years ago, I went through a divorce, and my best friend, I hadn't talked to him in almost 4 years, but I phoned him up when it was happening, and it was like picking up the old friendship. That's it. He was loyal. He was there for me. And Marcel, if you ever watch this, thank you. You got me through it. Richard, you also
Yay,
got me through it.
Marcel.
Sometimes just having somebody there to talk to understand what you're going through, or at least show some empathy, it really helps with the friendship stuff. And he was loyal. They were both loyal, even though I went through the worst period of my life. They were loyal, and that's what matters. Sometimes we have superficial friends, and you know how that works, right? They're the ones that gossip. They talk about you behind your back. They're not loyal in any way. If the shit hits the fan, they're not there, but they expect you to be there when their shit hits the fan. So being nice is wonderful, but having those boundaries is super important, and understanding who you can actually go to is super important. And then you have to be loyal back. You really do.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. I had a I don't know, I guess a crisis is what you would call it. A couple of years ago, and that's when you really learn, oh my god, all these people are so superficial. Like I really need to upgrade my friends and set some standards for them. And God, life is so much better when you actually have really good friends versus a lot of not so good friends. You still there, Jesse? All right, let's move on to our next guest. Did I just disappear?
Hey. I'm here.
Hey, what's up,
How are
Andrea?
you doing?
Tell me who you are.
How are you doing?
Who are you?
Well, I am here. I'm your global voice. I'm a fellow adoptee from Colombia, South America. Came to America with the angelic numbers of 1111, 11 pounds, 11 months young. And I am here as the face of change of mental health. I grew up in a crazy environment of abuse and bullying, but instead of choosing the path to vengeance, I choose the path of victory. I went from victim to victorious.
Ooh.
I am an author, a speaker, a coach, and I am probably one of the most loyal individuals that you will ever meet on
Oh
this
man, you and Jesse are
planet.
gonna have to hang out for sure with that loyalty.
No, absolutely. Loyalty is a gift that cannot be replaced. Someone's present. The gift that someone gives you is time. Your presence is someone's gift and never be taken for granted or wasted. And that's truly important, whether it's just being present in the moment, breathing together, or showing up.
I love it. I love it. I have a very important question for you though that I'd like you to answer. If I wanted to improve my
Sure.
social health by being a good friend, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
Tiny piece of advice: discover who you are first.
Ooh.
Once you know who you are able to create and be selective with the people you surround yourself. As both previous individuals have mentioned, Lori and Jesse, it's very rare. And sometimes it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Show up, never give up. A piece of advice for social health would be remembering how you want to be treated, because what you emulate, people can either deflect or reflect, and it's all about frequency and high vibration.
Frequency and high vibration. I love it. What a great tip. Tell us, where on your life journey did you learn this tip?
Well, I learned this, when the world shifted in 2020. Hindsight is 2020. You think you got everything going, you think everything is great, and all of a sudden, boom, everything can be taken from you. And you really realize where you stand in this world. And the people that support you, that praise you, and that don't take you down are the people going to lift you up. And the people that are there, we have to respect. We have to understand and have patience. We don't know where they're at that time and place. And sometimes at one point in our life, we were there at that place. So don't have great expectations of others, because you'll get disappointed every time. If you think other people are like you, it may or may not happen. Just be grateful for the presence of people surrounding you. Appreciate and live life with gratitude attitude.
Man, I love that. Thank you so much, Andrea. That is a freaking great insight. Well, let's move on and bring everyone out for our round robin. And audience, this is a great time for you to ask questions or make comments. And once we bring everyone out, we'll start refreshing Lori's tip. Lori, if you want to refresh your tip for us, that would be fantastic.
I'm not Lori.
You look like her.
Only at nighttime. Sorry.
Really, Austin?
He looks like you. You don't look like him, Lori. You look great. Lori, tell us what your tip was.
Well, obviously, mine was all about aligning yourself with people that you share values with, that bring in to help shape your mind, your mindset, your energy, and really just focusing on exactly that.
All
All right, Jesse, what are your thoughts on Lori's tip?
Energy is super important. I agree fully. If you're not in the mindset to be a good friend, you're not going to get a good friend in return. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good little quote there. You know, it's all, yeah. It's like you're the mirror effect. You know, if you're if you're treating people a certain way, you're going to attract other people that treat you that same way. So obviously you want to just put out what you believe in. Andrea, what do you think about Lori's tip?
Absolutely. Mindset is key. It's the muscle that moves everything. And it's not the matter that's in your mind that matters most. It's the matter within that molds the matter in your mind to make conscious decisions, empathetic choices, and intellectual responses with other individuals.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, sounds good. Jesse, refresh what your tip was for us.
Well, before my power kicked out, it was be loyal, be respectful of their ideas and help them move forward, and don't gossip. Those were the three things. Yeah.
No gossip. Yeah, your power went out. Sounds like you live on an island, huh?
I live in Canada, and I actually kicked the power bar, so it was my fault.
That's even freaking better. That's even better. All right.
So if I sit in this direction, I don't kick it. It's over there.
Andrea, what do you think about Jesse's tip?
Absolutely. Don't gossip. Whatever goes around comes around tenfold. Believe you me. So why be infectious with toxic? Be, unlimited with love. And being honest, that's something that, you would want people to be around you. Honesty is the best policy. So absolutely. Agree.
Yeah. Lori, what are your thoughts on Jesse's tip?
Yeah, that stuck with me too, because I don't think sometimes people realize how critical that we can be and judgmental. We're living in a world where everything is about keeping up with the Joneses and having to look a certain way, be a certain way. And I see a lot of like smoke and mirrors, right? It's like everything that comes online, it's like how much of that is truth and how much of that is not truth. And it creates like this unfortunate negative space. I mean, I can speak for myself. I know sometimes it creates, my own self-doubt, right? And so it's kind of like I find myself kind of minimizing myself and not really feeling good. So what do most people do? Most people that I know, when that happens, they move into like, well, let me just talk crap on them so I'll feel better, right? If we put ourselves around people, I get to call them energy vampire suckers that are negative, what quality does our life have? We all want to be a good friend and like, hey, I got 2 ears, call me anytime and I'll listen. But when it comes to becoming repetitive, where that phone's constantly ringing and, it's just like gossip, gossip, gossip. And it's like, let me put this person down. Let me talk shit on this person. Let me, do that. It really starts making you realize, like, if you're doing that about them, do you do that about me too? And then how does that make you feel? Like, God, I really would have had a much better day if I didn't just have to sit through that and listen to that. But then on the flip side, it's like you were talking about, Jesse, you went through a divorce and, loyalty. And I will say, same thing. I met my best friend when I was in preschool. We are still best friends to today. So we're going to be celebrating a 50-year friendship. And it's something to where what I realized was that, yeah, I don't talk to her every day. Our lives are so different. But what it came down to was she showed up, right? On the time I needed somebody the most. And this woman listened to me day in, day out for probably close to a year, cry, moan, bitch, whine, complain about the same thing over and over and over. That right there is loyalty. Because she could have said, you know what, girl, that's a definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing, and here you are. And I couldn't ask for, like, this is why she's my best friend. Right? Because it's like she's not judging me and she's showing up when I needed her the most, not when I was just winning. So, Jesse, you came out here with some funny name. I love how you keep changing your name. And it really goes to show like why Austin keeps calling you back, because laughter really is key component of like that energy. You give it right back, right? So yeah.
Oh man, Jesse. Lori, thank you for being very respectful and professional and a very insightful response. We very much appreciate that. We do have a nice question from the audience that ties right into what you were just saying, Lori. So we're going to go ahead and ask that live right now. How do you keep friendships strong when life gets busy? You were talking about your preschool friend and how, it's been 50 years. Congrats. That's freaking, we should throw parties for that. Like a 50-year quality friendship. I mean, it's like an anniversary. But yeah, so how do you keep your friendship strong when life gets busy?
That's a really good question. My friends really understand me, and they really understand and respect the fact that I'm not going to just jump out at every invitation. The people that really aren't my friends, the ones that don't understand that, are the ones that are going to just break away naturally and fall off on their own, right? So I think it's really aligning myself with people that understand. I can't always be there. I'm also a single mom. I got, like I said, 3 kids, 1, 2, 3 businesses, and those have to come first. However, at the end of the day, like, Jesse, who's now, I don't know if you changed your name again, Jesse, but you, you had mentioned of like showing up. I think it's the, somebody mentioned reciprocating, right? It's like those friendships are always going to be there as long as I'm nurturing them when they're nurturing me. And I make the time at least once a week. I'm trying to get out, and people know that's my schedule, that's my limits, and that's all I can really do right now.
That's very, very true. Anyone else want to answer this question?
Yeah, I think, it's all about effective communication and listening, understanding and meeting each other where they're at, because if you're busy, then they're saying, depending on the situation, without that communication level, if you're busy, then it could be interpreted as then that's more important than friendship. You want to make sure you have a clear understanding. Hey, life happens for all of us. It's just a matter of setting up that quality time. And it's truly understanding on both ends, but it doesn't dismiss the loyalty, the level of, love for one another and support of one another. So just make sure you have those communication lines. We're not mind readers. So make sure we, be able to express that, to one another.
I love it. This is a great tie-in. We've got another comment to answer that will fit with what you just said. Support your friend, but respect their space. Help when needed, not forced.
Mm-hmm.
Jess, do you want to tackle that one?
Yeah,
No.
I do. I used to have a friend in high school, and his daughter got run over, and she died.
Oh,
and wow. I hadn't talked to him for about 15 years. At that point, was my friendship wanted in any way? No. But we took meals to him. We made sure that he was okay. I talked to him for a few hours, and I haven't really talked to him since. Now, am I a good friend? Probably not. But he knows that if he needs somebody deep down, he can call me when the shit hits the fan. Sometimes it's not about talking every day. Sometimes it's not talking about every week. Sometimes it's that person that you haven't seen in 5 years that steps up to the plate and actually helps you when things are going wrong. Being a good friend isn't necessarily about knowing everything in somebody's life either. You don't have to drop all of your hardships on people. Sometimes it's just understanding that we're humans, and it's good to have somebody that actually supports us. I'm going to cry, so I'm going to stop talking now.
All right. Very good, very good. Well, let's switch this over. Let's move on to our daily challenge. Together, we need to come up with a task or series of tasks that takes less than 5 minutes a day, costs $0, is available to anyone in the world from Kathmandu to Osaka, and that helps us improve our social health by being a good friend. What ideas do you guys have?
I got one.
All right, good.
Try to catch. Simple
Ooh,
as
that's
that.
a good one.
Catch yourself when you gossip about anyone, and see if it
Nice.
serves you and serves the people that you love and your actual friends. See if it's actually serving anybody, or if it's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah, all right. So try to catch yourself gossiping. That's smart. Any other tips or ideas to add to our daily challenge? So, to improve our social health by being a good friend.
I think
Would it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
self-reflection. I was going to say maybe just self-reflection to add on to that. Like, how are you showing up, right? And kind of, I think Andrea, you mentioned it earlier about kind of like being the person that you want to be. You will also attract. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think the other kit advice or challenge I'd say is, you know, I saw this meme or reel or something. Don't worship worry, worship wonder. And when you worship worry,
Ooh,
you're always
what's that?
worrying about other people's situations. Do they like me? Am I showing up? Do I have to match what they have given? Now, focus on the wonder of the memories, the things that make you smile, the things that make you, that the times that were helpful. These are the enlightenment moments that allowed you to connect with that individual. And if it's been harmful or hurtful, take a pause, have patience, and make sure you're saying yes to yourself before others in making that decision to reconnect.
I love it. I love it. All right. So, daily challenge. So how do we make that into just a simple task to do in a day? I've got
Daily
that
task
we.
for today, I would say to turn mine into a daily day would be reflect on the memory of a friendship and how you could keep that
Ooh.
going. Reflect on a friendship. You know, look at the friends in your circle and say and be reminded of a positive memory that allowed your friendship to flourish, and use that in hindsight if there's a disagreement or an argument, or you feel that there's abandonment or toxicity. So reflect on a memory. Every friend you have, every interaction or relationship, reflect on the memory to keep it vibrant and to see if it's consistent. Watch by actions, not by words.
All right. I think we've got a great daily challenge. So first, we're going to um, pay attention to a time that you gossip. So when you're in a conversation or texting or DMing your friends, pay attention and see if you gossip, and then ask yourself why. Then self-reflect. Am I ready to present myself as a good friend today? And then reflect on a past relationship that was good. What was good about that relationship? Why you liked it? Maybe a moment. Maybe you're
Yes.
talking with a friend and go reflect back to a moment that was really awesome of them. Maybe even remind them, hey, remember last year when you did this, this, and this? Man, that felt really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sound like a solid challenge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. That means that we are officially done then. We came and we accomplished. We're going to wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for coming out. And we'll wrap the show up right now. Thank you, Andrea, Lori, and Jesse. And thank all of you for watching. We have an awesome daily challenge. Go ahead and self-reflect on a relationship, reflect on another relationship. Are you ready to be a good friend today? And then also try to pay attention and see when you're gossiping. When is something negative or something that is a hearsay or a he said, she said coming out of your mouth? And hopefully today you learned about how to become a better friend and improve your social health. And never forget that millionaires are